We're going to talk about Sibanye Gold next, before we take a brief break and come back for the final two. Interesting that this one features in the big three now, because this wasn't expected. In 2013, when they spun this thing off and separated those three underground mines out there in the western area, Carletonville area, many people thought this was the poor cousin of the two. So they took Driefontein and Kruif and Beatrix, which is in the southern Free State, and they put that lot together. But with the entrance of Neil Froneman, who is an interesting mine manager type in this country, certainly one of the better operators, he's been able to cut costs, he's been able to win deals with the unions, which other people don't seem to be able to manage. He's delivered a better than expected operational performance, and certainly the share price has done well. We'll see that in a minute. 26.6 billion rands worth of market capitalization, price earnings ratio of 17.4, dividend yield pretty high at 3.8%. So how does Neil do it? I mean, he talks a good game, he acquires things and he keeps moving, but somehow or another he delivers operationally as well.
No, definitely. I mean, he's definitely an experienced gold miner, and I mean, how he's operating these mines is absolutely spectacular. I mean, one of the things that they've got in their report as well is sort of what their reserves were before Goldfields and after Goldfields, and you can just see it was a steady decline, and then as soon as he took over, I mean, their reserves are increasing. Yeah. Now, I don't know if this is just the geologists going and looking at the ground and saying, actually, you've got more gold in here than we thought, but yes, it does. It comes from the acquisitions of Wits Gold and Crooks as well. Yeah. But remember again, like if you go back to Sibanye, I mean, their original sort of investment proposition was we're going to be a high dividend yield play. We're going to return sort of, I think it's 25 to 30% of normalized earnings to shareholders. And I mean, we're going to maintain this dividend. That's the investment thesis behind it.
And he was more aggressive, right? And he went at the Driefontein asset saying, rather than talking about a 25-year life, we're going to bring that in and mine more aggressively at higher grades. But it does mean that the company has to work out what its future is going to be if these assets are going to be run off a little faster.
Definitely, and I think that's why you've seen these acquisitions, because that acquisition didn't really fit into the initial strategy, but they've got it now somehow extend the life of the company. So I mean, there has been some very selective acquisitions.
What about the market rumors that they might be a buyer of platinum assets, that Anglo Platinum might be looking
to offload? It's possible, yeah. As far as I know, that the commentary around that from Neil has been that they would look at it, but it's definitely nothing definite at the moment. That said, I mean, if they do buy some platinum assets, it could be fairly exciting. I mean, you know, these platinum assets, I think, are going for a song at the moment, you know, with the current negativity around the sector.
So Sibanye Gold, we're only showing a 1-year share chart there because 5 years don't exist. We might be able to squeeze a 3-year out of it, but in any event, there it is at 30 rands a share. But one wonders, I mean, one continues to wonder, because all of the headwinds that we know the others face, like getting old, like electricity, like, you know, labor unsettled, so on and so forth, still exist. It's not like they go away.
I mean, you look at it, it was one of the best performing shares on our market last year, which is just spectacular for a gold miner, like you say, in that operating environment. But if you look at it, I mean, what they inherited from Goldfields, I mean, they inherited very good assets and high quality assets as well. The issue was that there were very high costs in the business, and probably the governance structure around them and the management structures weren't great. And I think what Neil's done is gone in there, cleaned all of that up, and you've seen those quick gains and the big production gains from the restructuring. Now, you know, once that's through, will it continue? I mean, they've got a lot of momentum behind them. You know, will they do it? You know, it's difficult to see, because I mean, are they going to do, you know, a selective capital raising? Are there going to be more acquisitions, which doesn't quite fit in with their strategy? Or are we going to get special dividends? Or is this production going to carry on? I mean, are they just going to keep on returning the cash rather than acquisitions?
So it sounds like you're leaning more towards not hot, or how are you going to call it?
I do like it. I actually, I mean, I think you know, just what they've done in the last 2 years is very, very good, and I'm going to back the momentum on this one. So I'm going to go hot. I would go long against other players.
Going hot on this one on your strategy, which we noted earlier. I'm going to go with not hot.